Hello, everyone. We are live. I'm just inviting Jimbo in. Let's see if that's working. Where is Jimbo? Accept. All right, it's not letting me accept. No, this is strange. Jimbo is unable to join. What is happening? Ah, there you are.
Nice.
It is working. Hey.
Yeah. Hello.
How
What's up? I'm good. I just woke up actually. So yeah, you can see it in my eyes actually. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
be a little bit sleepy. But
Yeah, well, it's 6 p.m. here, so yeah, it's the end of the day.
oh,
It's the
afternoon.
weekend.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Okay, great. Yeah, I know. I have a couple Australian friends and it's so complicated to catch up with them.
Yeah, big time difference.
Yeah. How can listen? I've been meaning to ask you that for a long time. But how can I pronounce your name?
It's
It
Aurelie.
Aurelie? Is it like
It's,
French?
yes, French. So
Okay,
it's Aurélie, but here in Australia, everybody calls me Aurelie.
Aurelie, right? It's like
Yes,
with this.
Aurelie.
Yeah,
Perfect.
nice. Okay, good. Well, yeah, super happy to be here. And thanks for getting the invite and all that.
No
Yeah.
problem. Thanks for having me.
I've been doing this for the last month, and I think you're already like the seventh or something like that, and yeah, super happy. And I'm especially happy today because you do what I do. Like it's been I've been talking to a lot of people, and we've been discussing a lot of topics, and but in most of them, I was the one that was creating the most digital products and courses and all that. And today is literally you do like brushes, you do lettering Procreate courses, you have a YouTube channel, like you've got it all. So I'm super excited that we can get to discuss a little bit, how to. Well, today's topic was how to grow your community as a lettering artist,
Yeah,
and probably like we can talk about how to diversify your income and all these like nice juicy things that people like.
of course. Yes.
Awesome. I always do this. I wanted to read a bit who you are. I have your bio here.
Yeah, of course.
um, let's see my reading skills. So okay. Oh, and your surname is also like Marron. Okay, can it be
Marron.
like
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
Aurélie
perfect.
Marron. Okay,
Perfect.
so um, so Aurelie is a multiple passionate lettering artist from the Gold Coast in Australia, born in New Caledonia. Is it right?
Yes.
Um, she moved to Australia in 2010 and started studying a Bachelor of Digital Media at Griffith University on the Gold Coast. She's always loved drawing and writing, but while studying at university, she discovered the art of typography and have not stopped practicing since. Over the past few years, she has been incredibly lucky to speak at the Typism conference. Lovely conference, by the way. Hi, Dominique. Start teaching typography at Griffith University and build her own creative design business from her very own home studio. Her mission is simple: produce the highest quality work for every client on every creative project. She's also thriving to share her knowledge with upcoming designers and hand letterers in her online courses. Nice. Well, I discovered your work early on, and I think I even had a conversation with you
Really?
a bunch of years ago. Um,
Yeah.
I'm I'm gonna try to dig it up because I think Were you doing chalk lettering before?
Yes, yes. So
Right.
that's how it all started, pretty much. Um, I when I was at university, that was one of my assignment, like one of my first typography assignment. We had to letter like a chalk board, and I did that. I filmed it and posted it online, and it kind of like went viral at the time. Like it not viral like it goes today, but it got quite a lot of response, and that was the first time for me. Like I didn't really have an Instagram or anything back then, so yeah, that's how it all started. I posted it, and people loved it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do more of it, and then people started thinking, oh, she's a chalk artist. That's all she does. And I was like, no, this is not the only thing I can do. I can do other things. But yeah, when I started, I didn't post much online. So that's probably like when you like discovered me. But yeah, I was only posting a bit of like chalk here and there. And I wasn't really posting a lot of work at the time. Like it was mostly, yeah, boring stuff.
Okay, no, because I think I remember that, I studied graphic design, so I started lettering about, I would say, 9 years ago or something. And and one of my first client jobs was a friend of mine that was opening a frozen yogurt, and I had to do this chalkboard for her. And I think I remember like sending you a message in Behance, hey, can you give me some tips? Because I had no idea. And you replied, and I remember that you really helped. And it was like really in the beginning of like my career, and you probably don't even remember, but I have this sweet memory of you.
I'll
So
have to go. I still have all of my messages on Behance, so yeah, I'll look it up.
I'll do that too.
Yeah.
So so yeah, I mean, people that come from my place, from from my Instagram page, you should go to see what she does, because she's amazing. And I mean, if you know that I do 3D lettering, but she's in another level. I wanted to ask you, like, where do you get your inspiration? Because your pieces are so realistic, the lights are so cool, and you really have an awesome control of dimensional lettering. Where does the light come from? Like the shadows, the textures, like especially with your neon letterings. I'm just like, okay, that looks really complicated to do, and for sure a lot of people ask you that. I know you have a lot of courses.
Yeah,
Um,
well, so it's pretty simple. If you want to make it like more realistic, you just have to look at real life examples. So I go on Pinterest a lot, and if you just type neon sign on Pinterest, you'll find like a lot of like pictures of actual real neon signs, for example. Um, and it's all about really like observing really closely. And obviously I never copy, but you just like, for example, if you were to try to redo a neon sign, like you would look at how the lights kind of look, how the shadow is kind of going with the lights, and you just like really, literally try and replicate that on your own work. But yeah, it's mostly just like observation, really, like really looking at even like real life example, like when you're out and about, just look at actual neon sign and see how the lights kind of glows and how the shadow is kind of cast. And yeah, just it's all observation. And yeah, I use a lot of like reference images, that's for sure.
that's awesome. Yeah, because well, right now I'm living in Barcelona, and Barcelona was really full of signs before. There's this book by Louise Philly that's called Signs in
Yeah.
Barcelona, or something similar. I don't remember the name exactly, but she was in Barcelona a lot of times, and she was taking a lot of pictures throughout the years. And there's like I have a book, and it's incredible because there is like all these nice examples, And once I took the book and I started walking in the city, and sadly there is like 60% of those artworks or those signs are disappeared, like they're gone.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but the city is getting uglier. But definitely, I think you're one of these people. Well, that I do the same. That when you walk in the street, I imagine that you go with people, and you look at rust on neon signs, and you like take a photo from certain angles so you understand the lighting and everything. And like
Yes.
I totally understand that.
Totally.
It
Like
becomes
if I
it.
go to a restaurant with my friends, I never look at the actual menu. I only look at the design. So I'm like, oh, I can't believe they did a spelling mistake here.
And then the waitress comes and you don't know what to get for dinner
Exactly.
because you didn't even check, right?
Happens all the time.
All right. So yeah. So you started. You actually said it, right? How many years ago you got into like when was the time that you realized that you wanted to do? I know you said it, but I know new people are coming. And when did you realize that you really wanted to do something artsy and especially lettering?
So, like pretty much, like I've said, like you've said in my little bio, I've always loved drawing. So I've always knew I would have like a creative career. So that's why I studied graphic design. So I started studying in 2010 and finished in 2012. And right after that, I started working at an agency for like a year and a half, and then straight away started my own business because I couldn't do 9 to 5. I had to work for myself. But for a very long time, I was just doing graphic design. I had done a bit of typography. I had done the chalk. I had done a bit of lettering, but it wasn't my main focus. I was more just doing graphic design work for clients, all the stuff like business cards, posters, websites, logo design. Yeah, all the
Yeah.
like boring stuff, I must say. It's not boring, but it got to that point where I got a bit tired, to be honest. I Because when you work for yourself, you always want to kind of please your client and make sure they're really happy, because you want to make sure you're still going to make money, and at the end of the day it's your business. So if you don't do a good job, you might lose clients, you might lose the job. So I was always like pushing myself to the maximum, trying to really please my clients. And yeah, like I said, it got to that point where it got a little bit exhausting. I was always working really, really hard, and at some point felt like I was working more and not making more money, because obviously I had a lot of clients that I was kind of like friends with, so they kind of knew that I would do the work because I wanted to keep them as a client. So they were asking me for a lot of stuff for the cheapest price, and always had to be done really fast, which was very exhausting. And that's when I kind of started thinking, okay, I need to do something different. I need to follow my real passion and try and hopefully make a living from doing what I love. And that's when I started doing a little bit more typography work. So that was back in 2019. So that was, yeah, maybe yeah, I had done design for more than 6 years, that's for sure. And yeah, 2019, I started like kind of looking at doing online courses and posting a bit more of my work. I started getting back into it, but it didn't really take off because I was still doing client work. I was still too busy to do what I love the most. I was always trying to please my clients until obviously COVID happened, when all of my client work was put on hold, which was really stressful at the time. Of course, the noise in the background is my cat. Don't worry, guys. So yeah, it was really stressful at the time because obviously I had no work and I was left with nothing to do pretty much. So I was like, okay, well, that might be the time to really focus on doing what I love the most, which is hand lettering and typography. And that's when I started also following people online like you, Jimbo, and even Stefan Kunz and Lauren Home. And I was like, oh, these people are doing what they love. They're amazing at their art and they make money from it. Like they look like they're successful, they're happy, they're doing what they love. And I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is so inspiring. And this is what I want to try and achieve as well. So that's when I really kind of started pushing my typography, my hand lettering, and really try to do a lot more, post a lot of more of my work online, and start selling digital products, and started my first online course. And now it's like, it's my full-time job now. I'm not really, I'm still taking on like client work, but not as much. Like I'm really selective now.
Yeah, do you
So
think
yeah,
it's
that's how I
important?
got into it. Huh?
Do you think it's important to keep taking design jobs from time to time? Just to, I think it's important just, you know, to keep your mind fresh a little, you know, and understand like I think understanding real life problems are really important for in our industry. And I think kind of like you have to adapt with them. And I think like, you know, I would say that 95% of the time I also just do products and courses and, you know, YouTube and all that. But then I realized that, you know, there's some design clients that are like really, really cool from time to time, you know, especially like some packaging. I know you've been doing some packaging as well. And I think like everything kind of complements, right? Um,
Yes.
so do you think you could live without any client anymore, or it's something that you like?
Um, I think I could, but it's definitely something that I like, but only as long as I kind of relate with the project.
Hmm.
I would only take on project now that I kind of know I'm going to get along with the people who are managing the project. If I know I'm kind of connecting with their message, with their values, and if it's something that I know will benefit me as well. If it's for me, if it's an opportunity to work on my skills and kind of use my own style, and like if it's something that I can relate with, I'm going to do it. Um, because I like before I was kind of doing more hand lettering and typography and making extra income for that. I would say yes to every job, and it it's very difficult because it's sometimes like you don't feel inspired, you don't know what to do, and you don't know if the client is going to be happy. And sometimes the client is happy, but you're not. Like you've created something, and you're like, oh, I would never ever post that on my Instagram
Yeah.
feed because I don't like it. And even though like I feel like you said, it's still important to do client work and kind of stay like in the industry and kind of keep doing those things. I still think that you should be able to, it's great to be able to choose your clients and not have to say yes to everything. But yeah, I at the moment I really only say yes to clients that I know I relate with, I can connect with their message, and I know it's going to be a project that I'm going to enjoy working on. And also, if it's a project with a better budget as well, if anything kind of like cheap with a very tight
Right.
deadline, it would be a big no. But yeah,
I
I'm,
mean, I guess like you learn the red flags. There can be a lot of them. Price is one, but it's also it's not just about you being greedy. It's just about you know, they like you've been working in this industry for a long time, and obviously you deserve, you know, I mean, because there's a lot of people that ask me like, okay, but we cannot choose clients, right? And this is something that a lot of us say, that we choose clients, and it's hard for a lot of people. And I always tell them that they have to give themselves time, because when my partner Thea and I started the studio, obviously there was no choosing to do. We had to pay the rent and we had to pay the living, so we would take anything, you know. And and it's a good thing, you know. In the beginning, I think everyone should take
yes.
every opportunity they can take, and then you know, you put it in the balance, and then you see what's worth it and what's not. And there's a lot of times that we've been burned because of those things. And I think getting yourself burned out is pretty cool, because it helps you grow a
Yeah,
lot. So yeah,
totally. Yeah.
I would say for those that are in the beginning, you know, they don't have to stress about these things. Just take stuff, get hurt. I think getting hurt is it's really good, you know, because the more you get hurt, the more you're gonna be protected in the future,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. I'm a strong believer in like hard work, and I feel like yeah, if you want to get to that point where you have the freedom of like choosing your clients, you're gonna have to go through that phase where you do as much work as possible, and the more you're gonna like say yes to job, the more you'll be like, okay, this is a red flag, this is not good, that I should totally say no. This one I might do even if it's not paying really well, but it will give me the experience and etc. But yeah, at the start, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna burn out, that's for sure. But yeah, it's all part of the process, I think.
For sure. I wanted to get a bit in today's topic. Now we've introduced ourselves a little bit, and people now know that we do products, both of us, and we. I wanted to talk about a bit of the community part of the whole thing, right? I know it's really important to have a community behind you that that can help, because that's something that, you know, you help them, they help you kind of make a living out of this. And I wanted to talk about, you know, different ways of building a community. And I wanted to start by asking you, when was the first time that you thought about community? You know, when was the first time that you thought, hey, these are not followers, this is just my community, and I owe them something, and I'm gonna provide them value? When did you start?
Well, it possibly started like just after COVID as well. Because that's when, like I said, I started trying to post more stuff online, and I wanted to really like get into more hand lettering and start making money from it. So that was my goal. And I was like, okay, well, if I want to be successful, I'm going to have to give back and not just try and make money from it. Like, it's not just the point. So that's when I started thinking, okay, well, I should probably listen to what people are kind of asking me to do, and what is it that they need, what is it that they want. So that's when I kind of started thinking, okay, well, maybe I could create an online course. And I that's when I started posting a lot more online, and I started posting absolutely everything, even things that I wasn't entirely happy with, that were still like a work in progress. And that's when I really started seeing people's reaction and feedback. So I could see, oh, this is something they like, oh, this is something they're curious about, this is something they wish they could do. And that's how I really started kind of building my community, and having more and more people following me for not just for the end result, but for all of my process as well. I could definitely tell that people were really interested in knowing my technique, my process, and how I go about creating all of my lettering. And
Right.
that's really when I started thinking, okay, well, that's an opportunity there to really give back to the community and teach them something. And I've always thought in my head, okay, I'm going to do online courses that are like not only easy and full of like resources, but also cheap. Um, I I think that my courses are cheap. Like, I give a
They
lot,
are. They are.
and everybody's telling me that they're cheap. But that was the idea. Like, I wanted to reach as much people as possible and really show them that I kind of cared and really wanted to share my skills, my knowledge, all the things I know about hand lettering. And it really paid off. Like, I could tell that people were definitely enjoying it and really happy about it. So yeah, that's when I really started kind of building that community. And like I said, it's all about inspiring each other. Like, you inspired me, Stefan Kunz inspired me, Lauren Holm at the time when I just started. And I think that's like super important. Like, I've never seen anyone as like competition, if that makes sense. For me, like, we all like unique in our style and in our design. And even though we sell the same kind of product, it will always be different. And there's no reason why people would buy the two products. So yeah,
No,
that's
definitely, yeah.
started like enjoying the community and
Enjoying.
making
Yeah,
use
I think
of
I
it. Yeah.
think I think you're right. We all grow together, and you know, the products are different, even if they are the same. You know, if they want to teach you the same style once or whatever. You know, I think like what you're
Yeah.
learning is not just the style, but it's an approach, right? So
Yes.
you can have an approach to neon lettering. I might have another one. You know, so that's for sure. It's like a it's for sure you can see it as a competition, but I think at the same time, like if you sell more, that means that the space is healthy. So people can check the stuff that I've been putting my soul into as well. So
Yeah.
I think we definitely all help each other. When it comes to social media, social networks, and all that, I know that you've been growing several platforms. You have over 5,000 followers now in YouTube. I checked the other day, so
Yes.
congratulations on that. I wanted to do actually one of your videos that you were teaching how to do a carpet. You remember that? I think
Oh,
you did it
yes,
last year.
yes,
I was like,
yes.
okay, I watched the whole thing and I was like, okay, I have to do
You
this.
should do one. It's so much fun.
Yeah, right. But I mean, like you know how to do a lot of things, and I think I know like the way you explain it seems easy, but is it easy?
It is.
It
Yes.
is?
Once you get the hang of it.
Okay.
The first time you try it might be a bit not perfect, but after a couple of like punch, you'll be fine.
Love it. I love the
So
result. I love the result. Yeah,
it looks really cool. Yeah.
I'm just really impressed. So yeah, you use a lot of social media, but what's the best way to not maybe the way, but what's the best platform that you think that you can grow and keep your community in one place, you know, so you can you know, whenever you want to talk to them, you have the best chance. Do you think this is something that you have in your website, or is it something like Instagram? What do you think?
So I personally think that it's very important to be on as many platforms as possible and to not rely on third parties platform like Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok. I'm on all of those, but I don't rely just on them. I rely on my website. So I would say that the most important is your website, even though there's never going to be really
Yeah.
people going on your website. Like they're never going to like go on Google and type your name, but they will find you through other platforms. So yeah, I think it's important to be on as many platforms as possible. So on Pinterest, I have like 3 million views every month, which is crazy.
Wow.
On TikTok, I had a couple of videos go viral when they didn't on Instagram. So that really goes to show like it depends on the platform. On Instagram is where I get most of my traffic, like people clicking on my website. On YouTube, I also get a lot of like people sending me messages and questions. I feel like because they're more like longer videos, people
Yeah.
really want to like interact more. But yeah, I think it's super, super important to be on as many platforms as possible so that everything kind of goes back to your website. So your website is your like kind of main, your house, your little home, maybe. Because like you never know what may happen. Like tomorrow something might happen on your Instagram, you get hacked, you lose your account, and then you're stuck. So you want to be able to reach your followers, your audience from another platform. And I also have the newsletter, which I believe is quite important to grow your newsletter. And yeah, as many platforms as possible. And it's not really tricky to manage because I just repost the same thing, to be honest. Like sometimes like I would post the same reel on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, and sometimes even like YouTube Shorts. So it will be the same video, the exact same, but posted on 4 different platforms, and that works.
That's really interesting, right? So repurposing your content, and more like nowadays that I think they're making it even easier. So for the people here that are on Instagram and are posting stuff, please do reels and just post them everywhere, because it's the same format. Around, I would say like around 30 seconds is a sweet spot, you know, something not short, not so long. And then you, as Aurelie says, you can just go ahead and go to Pinterest and post it there. I remember that my friend Max from Lettering Daily started telling us about Pinterest, and I never, you know, I didn't even understand that Pinterest was something for artists. You know, I know that it was something that a lot of people were just going, you know, just to find some food, and that's what I use it, you know, and or maybe like just to find
Yes.
inspiration,
Yeah.
just to find inspiration and do my boards. And I didn't know that Pinterest could be like such a big space for online traffic like this, you know, like to just to get, you know, people to your website and all. I like 3 million views a month. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, because you can post reels on Pinterest right now. So same thing. Yeah, like it's a reel, and people kind of almost like stories, but they call it differently. Like they all have different name because obviously they're all like
They
competitors.
have,
So
I posted one yesterday because I'm trying to grow our account. At the moment, we have 200,000 views a month, which is, you know,
it's
it's
really good.
it's it looks like a big number, but by the end of the day, it's just, you know, just about consistency and about like if some videos pick up or not. Some of them
Yeah,
just didn't, you know, and some of them that I didn't expect just went really high. But in Pinterest, there's the things that I don't understand and a lot of people don't do. It's one is the pin and the other one is the idea pin, which is
IDP. Yeah.
you know, what now I do this one, now I do that one, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But
I
at
don't
the
even do it. My sister does it for me. She's the one doing all the marketing, and so I'm like, here's the video.
That's good. That's good. I mean, like,
Yeah.
listen, I also get, Tiana, I also get help because, you know, at some point, I mean, you obviously can do everything, you know, but,
Yeah.
but at some point it becomes difficult, especially when the numbers grow and all that. It kind of becomes difficult because I'm a person, I just want to draw. I don't want to do anything else. Like that's, you know, my goal is just, I want to draw. I want to draw like a little kid and I want to draw like, you know, 10 hours a day and I don't want to
Yes.
do anything else. So you know, but obviously I wasn't able to do that. So I had to manage a lot of things. But one of the good things about, you know, kind of making products and kind of like making an income that doesn't solely depend on client work is that you have a bit more time to explore your passions a little. And
Yeah.
what happened with us is that we got to, you know, experiment a little bit more. Maybe, you know, you don't have to work, you know, on things that, you know, that you don't like. There's a question here that I was reading now that it's kind of interesting. What kind of content worked for you guys when growing your following, such as how to video of or process? Okay. Um, Okay, that's something that we both can answer. Maybe you can start, Aurelie. What do you think? What kind of
Yeah.
content? Because you grew a lot the last year in Instagram, right? A lot. Like
Yes.
I know that you were coming from 20K and now you have over 60 or something.
Yeah.
So let us know.
So what really worked, to be honest, is videos. So anything that's a video, anything that is a still image, it doesn't really work. Just because I think Instagram wants to kind of beat TikTok. So it's kind of like the war in between the two. So everything has to be a video now. But anything short, I don't think long videos work that well. It has to be short and super satisfying. Like it has to be like the best clip, like the best second, the best stroke. It has to be fast. It has to kind of be like a little bit mysterious as well. Like you want people to not stop watching. You want people to be kind
To
of stuck in
wonder.
that. Oh, I need to see what's going to happen. So you want to kind of keep the interest. So yeah, very short clips, videos, satisfying clips, and then the final result. And I think that's what's been working for me, just showing the process. And I could show something like very simple, but just showing how it's done, people are like, oh, this is so cool. Because yeah, a lot of people have no idea Procreate exists. So if you want to grow, just show them brushes on Procreate and just create something in Procreate, and people be like, wow, this is amazing. But yeah, I feel for me that was what really helped me grow more engagement
Yeah,
videos.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I think it's a good point what you say, kind of like showing, you know, different ways to get a result in a fast way. Even though sometimes, you know, I feel like as an artist, like the last videos I pushed were 1 minute long because I'm not a minimalist. Like I think more is more, and I love, you know, like
Yes.
putting a lot of stuff around. And you know, like whenever I do a video for Instagram, like for example, the one I did yesterday was like 58 seconds, and it's because it took me like 3 hours to do the piece, and you know, I use sometimes I use a technique of just like, you know, if I'm in a bar or I'm in a coffee place, like I just record like little snippets, like random snippets of the process, and then I put them all together and I
Yeah.
ship it as a reel. But now when I'm in the studio or in the co-working space, I have my, you know, one of these cheap Amazon things for the phone, and I have my good camera up, just, you know, to repurpose things for YouTube, and at the same time I'm doing this for Instagram in different formats. So the camera goes horizontal and the video for Instagram goes vertical, and yeah, I just place it there, and then I bring it to Premiere, right? And then I had like this 2-3 hours of footage, and I'm like, oh, like this part is so interesting, and this part is so interesting, and then in the end it becomes like this, you know, compact. And I think my community kind of like this better over the 10-second process that they don't
Yeah.
understand even what I'm doing. But I think Instagram, what it does, and it's like, I think it's like TikTok and all these platforms, right? Like we live in an era that we have so much information all the time, that what they're trying to push is content that gets seen. So if it's like 5 seconds of your video and people watch these 5 seconds, that means that someone has completed your video and Instagram likes that. Whereas if it's
Yeah.
1 minute and people just watch, let's say, half of it because they have stuff to do and they have other videos to see, then the algorithm kind of sees that thing is not, you know, like they are not seeing it until the end. Yeah. So I think that's a sweet spot, you know, in between, like I would say 15 and 30 seconds. I don't know what you think,
Yeah.
but as an artist, it's hard, and especially, you know, nowadays, especially for me that I'm doing these complicated pieces. And what do you think? Like, what kind of because you have a lot of process videos, and I really like the ones that are like, again, more like complicated, but you have, for example, the one that you're sharing your freebie. By the way, guys, she has a new freebie, so you can just go to my stories. I just posted there, or go to her page. It's an awesome brush for shading, and it's called Galaxy. Was it
Atom brush.
Atom? Okay, I knew it was
Very.
something up there. Yeah. Okay. Um, so yeah, that you're doing this letter, you know, and it's really satisfying because you can see like in 5 steps, you know, I do this awesome letter, you know, and you see like every shade of it. And I think these videos are the ones that go viral. Am I wrong?
Yes, no, you're totally right. But yeah, like you said, it's trying to find the sweet spot, and I think it depends also on what you want to achieve. If you want to like get just more followers and just create satisfying videos and get 10,000 followers, just do that. Just do something that's super satisfying. But then keep in mind that people might not be really
Yeah.
following you because they want to replicate what you're doing. They just think it's satisfying, and they might not really be interested in doing Procreate themselves. So if you want to create more like in-depth videos and that are longer, you'll get probably less followers, but you'll get followers that are actually really interested in what you're doing, and they follow you for different reasons. And I think, yeah, it's trying to find a balance. And I don't think it's important to have 60,000 followers if they're not people interested in what you do and they're not potential customers or part of your community. I don't think it's important to have millions of followers if they're not really going to buy anything from you and they don't really care about what you do. I think it's better to have 1,000 followers that are part of your community and that are truly interested in what you do and that would buy your courses, buy your brushes, and kind of give you feedback, ask questions. And yeah, I think number of followers is not really the most important. Of course, it feels good because you're like, oh, people love what I do. But at the end of the day, I think it's all about doing what you love and just
Yeah.
sharing what you want to share. And yeah, people will connect with it
Come
no matter what.
eventually.
So
I
yeah,
really like your perspective here, because I kind of can tie it up with the sense that in order to produce content, like people think, oh, how can I attract new people, you know? But I've seen people with like large following that really are not engaged with their followers, right? So I
yeah,
believe also, I think you also have to think like, what can I do so these people that are spending some time watching my stuff can appreciate, right? So I think a lot of us is more like, hey, yeah, let's go, let's go. We need to, grow the numbers and all that. But then you really have to think about these people that have been following you, that they need something from you as well.
Yes.
um and someone was saying before as well that if you thought of like what if social media disappears, and probably you joined now, but like before we were talking about um so like both of us are building a website, a platform, a newsletter, something that is ours, that we control. Like we are, like as she put it, right, this is your home, and you invite all these people, and you have to treat them good. So you provide them free resources, and they can, in a way that they can keep growing without spending money. And if they appreciate what you do, and they want something more premium, they can, get your resources, and that's what we both do, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, there's gonna be a time that Instagram might just go to waste, and then so what Aurelie was saying before was just to get all these platforms and use them as you go in each of them, and you try to get people from all over the place, right? And you bring them into your community, and then there you can communicate better. You can actually even get personal with them, which is pretty cool, because sometimes you just feel down and you don't feel like producing content. You send a newsletter, open-hearted newsletter, and they reply you, because we both care about each other. And that's
Yeah.
so social media can disappear tomorrow. And right now, I'm not scared. Like if tomorrow Instagram goes, I'm okay. I have my inner circle, people that have been trusting our products and our courses. They are there, and I think yeah, like right now, if you tell me, like, look, the cat is behind you, I think.
Right. He wants to say hello.
Hello. So what I was saying, that if you ask me what platform do you like best, I would say Shalbam, which is our platform and is our newsletter, because there's where we get the most results, and the people that we like the most, and we created real life connections, and I think your case is the same, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's important to have, yeah, your main website, your main home with your like subscribed people. Um, and but yeah, to answer that question, I don't think that social media will ever disappear. It's only just the beginning, and we're all gonna live in the metaverse very soon. But yeah, Instagram might disappear, YouTube might disappear. That we don't know. But social media in general, I don't think will disappear. But that's why it's super important to have your main website, like your main kind of like, yeah, let's call that a home. I think it makes sense that, yeah, your website is like your home where you invite people in, and yeah, you can share with your
It makes
community.
sense. It makes sense, and yeah, obviously, social media as the concept won't disappear, and then yeah, we will all be in the metaverse, right? But I think, like, if you put the example in the metaverse, there's gonna be your hub. There's gonna be, like your store, your place where people can hang out. They can learn from each other. They can just be there. And I think that's gonna be, like, in the metaverse is gonna be even better, because I think your platform is gonna be like a kind of like a real thing that people can,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
not real thing, but you know what I mean.
Really in the
um
metaverse.
and the social media is just gonna be this place you go across the street, and you find, different artists, people. It doesn't matter. I'm getting too deep into the metaverse, and I'm
Yeah,
actually
it makes
scared
sense.
about it. So
It
forget
will
about it.
happen, I'm sure.
It will happen eventually, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna wrap up soon. It's this I try to keep it in like 1 hour, something like that. But before that, um, I wanted to ask you if uh, what kind of product, or what kind of, if there is something that you could share today that you're working on, and that you're excited for this 2022.
Yeah, of course. Well, for anyone that kind of follows me already, they've probably seen that I have been working on this new online course, which is called digital product secrets. So at the moment, I'm in like the development phase. So I have a group of 30 students that are kind of taking the course with me, and we're up to week 3. It's a 9-week course, and we're up to week 3 at the moment. And yeah, I'm kind of like using them as my little test students, so that I can make sure I develop the course as best as possible. And then once it's done, it will be live. But this course is pretty much exactly what we talked about. It's all about learning to use your skills, use what you love to do, use what you can do to help your community to make money via digital products. Because I believe that digital products are an easy way to make extra income without having to like create physical products or give a service to a client where you have to be there. It's something that you can create once and sell forever. So
Yeah.
that's what the course is all about. It's helping people trying to really find what it is that they could create. So I'm really going through the process of doing all of like the brainstorming, creative brief, vision boards, and all of that to help them figure out which product they can sell to their audience, which is the product that is going to sell. And then the second part of the course is all about the creation. So I help people really create the product, make it as best as possible. Yes, Sushi Julia is saying the course is already amazing. Thank you. And yeah, the last phase will be all about marketing. So it will all be about exactly what we talked about, creating reels, putting your work out there, helping the community, talking with people, getting feedback. And yeah, hopefully all of my students already know they're going to have an amazing digital product to sell. But yeah, that's what this course is all about, helping the community learn how to make a product and make a profit from it. Because yeah, I've learned a lot along the way, and I've made a lot of mistakes, but now I'm pretty sure I can like help people and put them in the right direction, and also just give them that little push, because sometimes that's all you need. Like, you know, you can do an amazing product, but you just need that person to tell you you have to do it. Because I was the same at the start. I was like, oh, one day I'll do products and they will be selling online by themselves. But I was like, oh, I'll do it when I have time. I'll do this job first.
Yeah.
But once you do it, you don't regret it. And I'm sure you agree with that, because yeah, I know I've listened to your podcast with Scotty Russell.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was
and
fun. That was really fun.
that was a while ago. But I was like, oh yeah, he's making so much money from this, and this is what I want to do. Like, this is so cool. Everyone should be making money from digital product, I reckon.
Yeah, I love hanging out with Scotty. It was such a good time. I would like to go ahead and do it again. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm creating also. Well, I have, so in the studio weekend I have like planned the 2 years ahead, and like this year is more about, we're gonna push a product a month, and by the end of the year we are also putting like this kind of course together. And then by the next year we're gonna as well get more into like how to create products, and like, because a lot, and I understand that a lot of people ask you that as well, you know, how to actually create a product, how to make it successful, you know, and I think I think that's something that we've also been thinking in the studio, that this it's not a secret. You just have to push them a little bit, and try to explain, you know, where you failed, and what can help them a lot, right? So that's something that I wanna do next year. So yeah, it's kind of, you know, it's like this New Year's resolution is, you know, has been for the next 2 years. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But again, I'm happy that we are kind of in the same track, you know, kind of like maybe, you know, teaching people how to, you know, how to get better at the craft, at lettering, and then how to as well kind of diversify their income, you know. So yeah, I'm really happy that we're making this happen, and hopefully, like, you know, by the end of the year or maybe next year, there's more products. And you know, I love the competition, so just
well,
bring them
we
on.
should collaborate on something.
Definitely, we can
We
totally
should do like maybe like a bundle with like brushes from the both of us. That would be cool.
Okay. We can do that. And now that we have the new web. That, by the way, we have the new website. If you want to go, it's shoutband.com.
Yeah, I'll make sure to share it in my stories as well with the link
awesome.
to your freebies.
We did it like we published it last week, so it's interesting. But now that we have our platform, for sure, we could let's talk about it. Maybe we could do like a nice bundle and again, like teach people like our different perspectives and how they can meet together. I love that.
Yeah,
good idea. Thank you.
So cool.
Well, Aurelie, thank you. Aurelie. I have to repeat it. I have to repeat it a lot of times. I have a lot of French people in my in my circle, and I mean I live next to France, so I kind of I can understand a bit of the names at least, but it's still hard, especially I think because when I'm speaking in English, it's hard to say the name in French, right? So it's kind of like it's gonna take time to,
even I always say my name in English now. I'm like, it's Aurelie.
Yeah.
Aurelie.
Exactly. Yeah. But it sounds cuter in English. So in French. Sorry. So you should.
Well, people can't say R, so they can't say the R here. So.
Yeah, but I mean, well, maybe you can just getting them used to it. Like I like.
Yeah, I'll try and teach them. I always try, but
yeah, but I totally understand you because my name is not Jimbo and my name is Jaume, which is like James, but in Catalan, so it's a completely different story, right? But my dad was like, "Yo, I have to give you a name because you're about to go outside the country, like 9 years ago, and he thought that my name was too complicated for people outside, so he was like, watching movies and all that, and he decided to give me Jimbo, and the new son was born. But anyway,
well, you have two names now, which is good.
Yeah. Well, you too, actually, sort of. It's the same, but it's not. So, okay, Aurelie, thank you so much for this, and let's have a chat about what we just talked about. I love it that ideas just can come like this naturally, and good luck in your course, and
thank you. You too.
And talk soon, okay?
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Ciao.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.